Okay, so guys, a couple weeks ago, I created a thread where I asked women if they've ever sent a long paragraph seeking closure from someone they've been involved with. So I want to know, have you guys ever sent a long paragraph to a boyfriend or someone you were dating?
I have, but you know when you just look back at what you said and you just feel like a waste, man. Like, why did I pour out my heart to just get an okay?
I used to do it all the time. Like, you know, like back in the days when you have the phone and it would tell you that you can't send anymore. So it's like 5 or something like that you've done, like nothing else. Like I would never do it again. And it's just too emotional and you're like literally holding your phone, waiting for a response and then nothing. No response, no emotions.
I've done it, but it's always within a relationship. And I'm like quite attracted to emotionally intelligent men, so it's always reciprocated.
Yeah.
So it's actually, every time I've done it, it's worked in my favor.
Yeah.
But then also, when you do write what you're saying, sometimes the tone can often be misunderstood.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just like seeking closure over text messages. I probably would not do that again. And I think closure in itself is quite a selfish act. It's more for you than for the other person.
But what made you send the message though?
A reaction, a response. It's like you want them to feel exactly how you feel, but you can't. I don't think it's possible to always evoke that through text messages because it's so disposable. You read it, okay, cool, you put it down. When you're face to face, you can't escape me. You can't hide.
100%.
I can see exactly how you feel, and I think that's just a better way to do it. I don't know. For me, text messages have never really worked.
I've never written a text, but I've written a letter.
Oh.
Did I say written?
Old school.
I wrote a letter. Yeah, I wrote a letter once. Yeah. Well, I gave it to him. My baby father.
Right. How did you react?
I actually can't remember, which doesn't sound like a good sign. But I think, as you said, it was more for me to kind of get all of my thoughts and my emotions on, because I'm more of a writer than a speaker anyway. So me writing it out was kind of a release for me. What he was gonna do with it, I really didn't care, but it was kind of me kind of getting things off my chest and then him having it, if he wanted to respond in whatever way he wanted to, that was up to him. But I've never I think, because I was in a relationship when I was quite young, I was like 16, 17. At that age, you're not mature enough to be thinking about writing paragraphs. Right. You're just kind of going with the flow kind of thing. So I didn't really feel like I needed to do all of that, even up until the age of 20 and being together for that space of time. I think if I wanted to say something, I would just call him, or, do you know what I mean? When I see him, I would let him know kind of thing, as opposed to writing paragraphs. But towards the end of the relationship, when it was like, done, I did write a letter, and that was kind of more therapeutic processing for me to kind of let go and just realise that, okay, this is done.
I think for me though, the only thing that I can never get my head around is the fact that men know that us females are quite emotional. So when we're writing these messages, these text messages, we're not doing it for fun. We're doing it because this is how we genuinely feel. So I don't understand how you could read all of that and give such a blunt or blasé, rude response. I think that's just like, how can you not even, where is your empathy in that moment?
They're not emotionally intelligent people. Because there's like
It's fact.
Because there are the they say there are 5 components to emotional intelligence, and one of them is the ability to empathize. So you can empathize, you have social skills, you're self-aware, and you can self-regulate. And I think if you can pour your heart out to someone, even if they don't feel the same way, someone with social skills, someone with empathy will still find a way to communicate with you, to let you know in a polite way that they don't feel the same way.
Or they don't care.
Yeah, but even if you don't care, I think there should be a level of respect that you have. Because when I did my thread, I saw so many women who were being disrespected. However, there was the argument that some men did say that, do you know what, we're just seeing these text messages. We don't know the conversations they've probably had. He's probably said time and time again.
The same thing.
It's not what I can't give you what it is you want. So she's then pouring out her heart, which can be a bit emotionally manipulative in a sense. And I'm not gonna lie, I have been there as well. I have been on the side of being emotionally manipulative to get what I want.
What is that line?
And I don't mean to.
Between telling how you feel or emotionally manipulating the situation with how you feel?
I think if you already had the conversation before, or the guy's already expressed how he feels on the situation, and you're constantly still
you're trying
going
to like change his
trying
mind.
to change his mind.
I wouldn't say that was necessarily manipulative. Some people are just frustrated with their own emotions. They don't know how to handle them, so they can be repetitive without being intentionally manipulative. I think being manipulative is having some kind of strategized goal in mind, because you want to evoke a response from someone, by any means necessary.
I think seeking attention as well.
Yeah, there's an element of selfishness. But I have a question. So we're talking about pouring your heart out to guys, but in the context of closure. What just for kind of people watching, what is closure to you guys?
Closure is us talking, making up, and having sex after. My closure.
Oh my God. Okay, that's not my form of closure.
No?
I think
How is that closure? That's like a cliffhanger.
You're
in the boudoir
and the vagina
the
and
boudoir.
closed it.
How is that
That is her
closure?
closure.
So what happens after the sex then? So he's
This
like,
is
okay,
it.
so
She's closed. She's
It's closure.
She's okay.
we're back to square one.
It's complete.
I think for me, I just think it's about me being able to understand why we've come to an end from your perspective, and you being able to understand why we've come to an end from my perspective, and hopefully being able to mutually agree to disagree and realise that, okay, this just wasn't meant to be, this wasn't the right time, let's move on. However, it never really works out that way.
I don't believe in closure. I'm not gonna pretend I do. I feel like when people say closure, it's just a reason to connect with that person again.
Yeah, but sometimes you do want the person to just understand where you're coming from.
But if they don't, what do you do?
Nothing. There's nothing you can do. But at least you know that you've been able to like convey like what you were feeling. Like, okay, this is why I said what I said, or this is why I did this. Do you know what I mean? Like, just so they can understand.
I think each scenario is also very different, so you always have to take context.
How would you say that you've all managed to heal from either past relationships or past situationships? You need to stop. Like,
No, I'm joking.
stop.
I'm joking. No, seriously though.
Your body count will not heal you, okay?
Yes, it will.
A high body count,
Yes, it
I'm
will.
not even gonna get into it.
Are you sex shaming me?
No.
Wow. That is so 2008, Mercedes.
I'm so over you.
Just saying.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, how have you guys managed to heal over past relationships or
I think just taking one day at a time. Like, as I said, time is a great healer. Just taking one day at a time, and as keeping busy, trying to just get on with life and praying about it, like talking about it, maybe having someone that you can, like, only anytime you feel emotional about the situation, someone you can like talk to about it and then move on. But yeah, I think, just definitely, just knowing, I think having that awareness that this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be stuck here forever. Like, this moment is not going to be forever.
Yeah.
And I think there's also an element of like understanding your value, because if a relationship ends and you're in a place where you don't really recognize your value, or you have low self-esteem, then it's like, oh my God, I've lost someone that wanted me. No one else will want me. I'm going to be the spinster forever. I'm useless. Nobody likes me. My relationship failed because of me. But when you recognize your value, it's on to the next one. Not literally.
But you know there's value in yourself.
But you know there's value in yourself, so you know that it's not the end. It's just like part of your journey. And I think there's also an element of sometimes we can make the mistake of compromising our character in an attempt to get over someone. And I see men and women do it all the time. Oh, because I'm no longer with this person, let me go out more than I went out. Let me drink like crazy. Let me sleep with this person. Let me sleep with that person. Let me be doing yo-yo-yo all over the place in an attempt to get over them. And compromising, and compromising who you really are. So I feel like understand your value. Don't compromise your character, and understand it's going to take time.
And that start doing things that you enjoy as well. Like, I feel like just like, it sounds so like, oh, everyone says this, but like getting to know yourself a lot more, do you know what I mean? And like spend more time with yourself. And I'm just like an advocate for like, allow yourself to feel it. Like, okay, I'm upset, my heart's broken, this is how I'm feeling, and do you know what I mean? And actually go through that process and understand that it's just a process, and this too
and you're not the only one going through it.
And you're not the only one.
I think for me, what I find was the hardest part about getting over a past relationship wasn't even always about the guy, but the picture that you've created and breaking that down and realising this will not be what's going to happen in the next 5 years. I've got to I don't even know. Is it whether we think the picture or we've just got to realise that this is just a fantasy?
Basically,
it's just an ideal.
The face in the picture is no longer the same face.
You have to,
it's going to be an empty face, and someone else is going to pick that face at some point.
That's the worst part. That's what they say about breakups. That's the worst bit. Is like what could have happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like even like sometimes when I have an MCM, and I find out it has a girlfriend now, I'm like, raw. I had plans. We had plans. But do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but there's something about like when you meet someone, yeah. I don't know if I'm the only one that does this.
No, we
But when you meet someone, you like imagine
everything.
like holding hands and like going out and all the places we're gonna go and like all the
we're our own worst enemy. And I think that's what we create problems for ourselves sometimes because you need to take your relationships at face value. Right. This is what it is. I can only judge this person by their actions, not by this whimsical fantasy I have in my head. Because when you build that whimsical fantasy up and then it doesn't manifest, it's like, oh my God, I'm so heartbroken. We were going to get married and have 2.5 kids. And it's like, but
you never even discussed it.
He barely picks up your calls. Like he's taking you on 3 dates.
He doesn't even know you exist.
That could be one. But oh my God. Do you know what I noticed in that thread as well, in your thing on Twitter? One thing I noticed is that it seems like quite a few of the women involved lie to themselves. Yeah. So I was seeing a theme. So they would enter like a situation and be like, oh yeah, I can totally handle no strings attached sex, that's fine. When secretly deep down they want to be someone's girlfriend so bad. They want a boyfriend so bad. And they lie to themselves because they're so into this guy that they follow this, it's not even a relationship, situationship.
Yeah. They give what they think he'll take.
Yeah, so it's like, and you have to kind of like look at the responses and think, you kind of knew what you were getting into. Because some of the women even said, I know you said in the beginning you're not looking for a relationship. But it's like, if he told you, I think a lot of the anger comes from the self-reflection that actually, I kind of caused this because he gave me the signs, the flags were there, but I proceeded to enter this situation I'm not entirely comfortable with.
I feel like we should start listening to them. I feel like they say things and we like switch it up. I feel like we should just listen.
Wait, hold up. Maybe
one of my best male friends has said this. I just feel that a lot of women once again, just need to be honest with themselves so we won't get ourselves into the situation. However, guys do tend to lie.
Yeah, they can.
Guys lie.
Their actions, they will say words.
They can lie.
I don't want to be with you.
But
But they're texting you every single day.
And they behave.
This is the thing.
That's why you
when the
have to take
actions don't even match up with the words or the intentions. Like
Take the words,
they will
I
treat
think.
you like wifey, but then they'll still turn around and say, I don't want anything serious.
But
Why
you are-
put
you're
all that
allowing
effort,
them.
energy, and
Are you
time
as a
and
woman
money?
allowing that capacity to happen? Like, are you allowing him to treat you? So whenever he calls, you're there. Like whenever he's asking to go out, you're there. Like if he's having the opportunity to treat you like wifey, then maybe that's on your part in a sense.
No, but why would a guy invest time, money,
because
and
he
energy
wants
into
he wants to get whatever he wants to get from you. Do you know what I mean? So he's gonna do whatever it is.
I'm saying
that he
even
can do.
after sex. Let's say it's sex.
I'm not talking
Even
about just sex.
after
He might want the emotional connection. He
Fair
might want the
enough,
friendship. He might want the companionship, but he doesn't want a relationship.
Clout.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you yourself, if he's told you he doesn't want a relationship, right?
Point blank, black, white.
He don't like ships. Okay, he doesn't want a relationship, but then he's calling you, he's texting you, asking to go out. You with your own brains, okay, would be like, sorry, I'm not available.
Do you know what that reminds me of? So I saw something on Twitter. One American guy wrote, every time I bring a girl to the house to meet my mum, she thinks that she's going to be wifey, but really I just want to show my mum I get hose. I was like,
oh my God.
No, but I do think guys that constantly bring females home, they have a problem.
I don't trust. Yeah.
So his mum is like, well done, my son, more hoes.
Let's not talk about narcissistic mums and their sons.
Honestly, there's some wayward mothers out there that are allowing their sons to bring home Bingpe or Yetunde or whatever. Why?
You know when girls
to
like,
me, that's
I met his
weird.
mum. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't.
I'm learning from experience. Whether you meet uncle, grandfather, great grandfather.
I think movies have warped this idea that when you go meet the parents.
No, but I'm not gonna lie.
It's like some major thing. Like,
no, but I won't lie. No, I won't lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm talking to a guy and we're going out, and then one day he says, "Oh hey, do you wanna come round? Yeah, my mum's gonna." I'll tell the group chat. I'll think this serious. Like, I'm not gonna front. I'll definitely be
men
gassed.
that act trash have reduced it to like it's nothing because nowadays, whether you meet the parents or not, they don't really.
Part of the game. Hey guys, Oloni here, and I'm down Oxford Street where I'll be talking to the public about sex and relationships. My long-term boyfriend still lets his ex use his Netflix account. I asked him about it, and he said it's no big deal. Am I right to be angry?
Furious.
Why?
Because it's ridiculous. People shouldn't steal other people's Netflix accounts.
No, you're not right to be angry. It's Netflix. You need to be comfortable in your own skin. You're with him. It's Netflix. Why are you getting upset about that?
Well, it's not a big deal, right?
I'm telling you that I don't like it. I don't want her using our Netflix account, so what are you going to do?
If it depends, innit? If she's not okay with it, then it's not allowed, innit?
No, don't be angry.
Everyone keeps saying no. Am I the only one who's just like, get your own?
My sister's friend's ex-boyfriend is still using our Netflix account.
To me, I just think that if you're done with my partner, you shouldn't have any access to any of their fun activities, Netflix, you know, the back door of his house. Do you not think that if your girlfriend was still to complain about it, you should do something about it?
Yeah, you should, yeah. Because she's a priority now, so yeah.
Of course, so what would you do then?
I would have a discussion, but again, it depends how long I've known my ex-girlfriend.
You wouldn't share your Netflix? Are you really husband material if you won't share your Netflix?
Hey, I'm husband material. But we don't need to share Netflix.
If your girlfriend had an issue with your ex using it, what would you do?
I'd agree with her. And we'd both, go around to her house and, tell her to stop using it.
No, I think it's fine. It's fine. Worry about the real things, not his ex using his Netflix account. Although when you say that out loud, it sounds so wrong. But no, don't worry about it.
Oloni, you coined a term, girlfriend fluffer. What is a girlfriend fluffer?
Right.
So a girlfriend fluffer is basically a woman who prepares a guy to be with his actual girlfriend. So you're not a girlfriend. And I say that there's different types of girlfriend fluffers. So there's the shooting in the gym. So she's basically doing the extra. So for example, let's say you're a uni student, you're helping him with his assignments, or let's say you're young adults and you're young professionals, you're helping him look for a job, you're helping him with his CV, you know. And then there's the, the fun type. So she's the girlfriend fluffer who is basically down for the sex and she's completely fine with it. So she turns around one day and then she says,
what are we?
There we go. She says, what are we? And then there's the I can change his mind type of girlfriend fluffer, which I can definitely relate to.
Is that when you do all the wifey stuff, hoping that he'll just wife you?
Yes, and change his mind.
Okay, that leads me to the next question.
Yeah.
I'll start with Rita. Have any of you, Rita, been a girlfriend fluffer?
Any of you been experienced girlfriend fluffers?
Yeah, I think I'm really experienced in this area. No, I'm joking.
Are you teaching classes or?
I need master classes.
So you've been with someone who's had like a girlfriend right after you?
Wife, yeah.
Wife?
Wife.
That's a wife fluffer.
Oh my God, I've never been a girlfriend fluffer, but I've been a wife fluffer twice.
Wow.
Me too. Oh my gosh, me too.
Every time.
Me too. I'm so glad it's not me.
Every time I break up with a guy, he gets married.
What the hell?
But it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because I broke up.
No,
because if I'm the person that's doing a breaking up, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. It's
why didn't you marry me? Like,
no.
It's just weird.
Every time it happened, I didn't want to marry those particular people. So afterwards, it was like.
But then did that rejection then spiral them into wanting to secure you
you're
again?
just such a great woman.
No, do you know what? It sounds so
they look
bad. It
similar.
sounds so bad. Because they rushed in it so quick. They rushed into it so quick. I feel like they lost me and then they thought, oh, may as well sell. Anyway, Rita, what were you saying? Sorry.
But yeah, I think I've gone through different phases. So I've gone through the phase of like a different level. So you said 2, right? So you said the one where helping out with uni work and doing the most and stuff like that. And then the second one of
the fun type?
Not the fun type.
I can change his mind.
I can change his mind, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like, so the first one, I was just doing the most. Like, well, I used to live in like Croydon. We all know that is far. I used to like travel like
very far.
Hour and a half.
But you won't drop me home, Rita.
Like, an hour and a half to like help him do like a project that he was doing, and I'll be like carrying things that are heavy, moving things about. Like if he's at somewhere, giving out leaflets. Yeah, I was just doing the absolute most, thinking in my mind, I thought if I do these things, he's gonna think I'm a good girlfriend. That I would be a good girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? And it just didn't do anything.
Isn't it weird how it's always women who are often like, I don't know, putting themselves through an audition to be a girlfriend or a wife?
And it's something that
for guys who don't even do that much.
They don't even care. And do you know what? Like, I literally was just doing the most. I can't. Like, I would pretend that I would remember I would put on my Snap, like, I'm cooking. These times, I'm not cooking nothing.
No, Rita, that's actually deception.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I've done that.
Deception.
I had my friend.
Say it with my chest, it's all part of the journey. I'll be like, oh yeah, cooking. I was not cooking. I just wanted him from scratch. I just wanted him to know. I wanted him to think to himself. In my mind, I'm an actor, so in my mind, I created a script, and I thought, right, okay. If he sees that I'm doing all of these things, he's gonna see me as a woman he could take home to his mom. Like,
I understand it.
That constant validation.
Yeah, and he didn't care. My guy met another girl, he got married, he's happy. That's it.
No, my friend cooked, like, she cooked food for a guy and we pretended it was me who made it.
That's sad.
It's not sad. The game is the game.
It's part of the game.
But do you think you can be a girlfriend fluffer if you both mutually benefited from the relationship? So he did as much for you as you did for him. But then he leaves you and then moves on.
That's more of a situationship, because if you're both benefiting, I mean...
Or it could be a friendship. It could actually just be a friendship where you both are fond of each other and you help each... No, this is without sex. Like, if you're not having sex, because not everything is about sex.
She says it, not me! Oh my God.
Not everybody has sex. So, but if you're both like genuinely fond of each other, but you're not necessarily wanting to be in a relationship or can't be in a relationship with each other.
But this is when you are in a relationship. So the girlfriend fluffer is about
wife fluffer.
So are you in a relationship with these people?
No, you're not.
Oh,
you're preparing him for a relationship.
So you're in the situationship, but then he leaves you and then gets into a relationship.
He doesn't leave you because you're not even together.
Okay, he does. But you know what? But
my twist.
But then what about
that? He is kinda, because it may not be defined by everybody else as a relationship, but you two have something.
You have a thing,
and then he's
exclusive at least.
Yeah, and he says
in a way,
he doesn't want a relationship.
But he's saying he doesn't want a relationship. He doesn't want to title it.
Yeah.
But even to add to another dynamic to that, even when you are in a relationship, how annoying is it when it's almost like you teach him all the ropes on how to be a great man. You show him all the places that he should be taking you. You give him all this wealth of like knowledge and you expose him to a different world. You go on trips and holidays. Then he leaves you and he does exactly what you wanted
all
him
of the
to do
ideas. He
for
was
someone else.
Like in that matrimony movie.
Literally, the matrimony movie when Tahiri goes absolutely mad.
But they say no transaction takes place unless both parties benefit. So on that premise alone, if you're in a relationship with a man, you're not going to be with him if you're not benefiting in any way, right? So the same way he's taken all the great things you taught him, there are things you have learned from him or things you have received from him that you're taking to the next guy. Because every time I've left a relationship, I contributed, but you've also taught me wonderful lessons that I'm going to take to my next man. So it's like, it works both ways.
It works both ways.
If there were no lessons, why were you with him?
And that, again, time to reflect.
That's your own fault.
Time to reflect on your choices.
Just wasting time.
But I would say, like, we do need to be careful. I mean, both men and women, but women particularly, because I feel like we give and we give and we give. Like, we're so desperate to prove ourselves and our worth.
Well, as an adult now,
we shouldn't.
That's not something
it's not something I would do either.
I would do, but obviously, when you're like young, you're just like you know, you want to get married, you're just like, oh my God,
I don't think it's even an age thing. They're grown, middle-aged women.
I know, for me personally, I learned from that situation. I was like, no.
I think that's because women and girls put so much emphasis on the title of being in a relationship or being married without actually evaluating what a relationship really means, what it's about, what does a marriage mean, what is it about? So I think that's the issue. When you're chasing a relationship for a relationship's sake, you find yourself in these issues all the time. But if you're not chasing a relationship, there's no...
Your companionship.
Yeah, you don't have time to be a jester, bells and whistles, pick me, please, pick me. Like, you don't have time for that.
Yeah.